Recently, we've been talking a lot about the rise of prize figures. They're a cheap alternative to really expensive anime figures, and the quality of them is on the rise, from FuRyu's work on Hatsune Miku to Taito's artist masterpiece Plus. But one empire doesn't really seem to be getting as much attention as it used to: SEGA. You probably know SEGA for games, but they're also one of the biggest manufacturers for prize figures. After all, they own some of the most iconic arcades in Japan. However, with stiff competition from Taito, Bandai, and FuRyu, it sometimes feels, to me at least, that SEGA is falling behind in the game. Even their arcades in Tokyo are being replaced by companies like Bandai. So today, let's take a brief look at SEGA's prize figures, and see if they're matching up to their competitors at all. So first, to understand SEGA's prize figures, we need to know their two biggest classifications: PM and Luminasta. Let's start with PM figures, because this one is a little confusing. PM basically stands for premium, as they're high quality prize figures that are usually 20 centimeters or taller. But there's some layers to this brand, as SEGA also has SPM, meaning super premium. SPM is essentially an even higher quality prize figure, though to the naked eye, the difference between PM and SPM can sometimes feel arbitrary. Then there's also LPM, meaning limited premium, which are effectively rarer prize figures. For PM figures, the clothes are often well molded for a prize figure, and they do hair relatively well. But compared to Taito's premium prize figures, there's still a long way to go for SEGA. Also, PM figures aren't the most consistent with capturing a character's likeness. The other big line is Luminasta. Luminasta figures are also meant to be high quality. However, one thing we think that makes Luminasta stand out from PM is that this line is way more open to experimenting with different poses and bases. PM bases are often, well, let's just say they exist. But look at this figure of Asuka by Luminasta, which is meant to be viewed from above, or how this Yofukashi figure is on a relatively unique base. Though PM figures are meant to be high quality, we do think that Luminasta figures are in general more interesting. SEGA also has a line called EX figures from the mid-2000s and early 2010s that look like this. Yeah, well, at least we've come a long way. Overall, with some occasional great releases by Luminasta and PM figures, SEGA hasn't completely fallen off, but they're definitely no longer as exciting as their competitors. However, one thing SEGA has over Bandai and Taito is their name, which is way more known across the world thanks to owning huge franchises like Sonic and Persona. So there is a good chance that SEGA is really only one unique move away from catching up in the arms race of good anime figures.